White-throated sparrows, like so many flocking birds, don't actually seem to like crowds. All too often, one of them hits the ground acting like a mean drunk, without even the excuse of liquor. Maybe the cranky ones would prefer solitude, but they have to put up with the flock, because these birds spend every waking minute on the knife edge of fear that a Cooper's hawk might be lurking. Each bird knows that if a Cooper's or sharp-shinned hawk grabs it, the hawk will strangle it. And it's possible that every bird in the flock has seen one of its fellows frantically flapping its wings as a hawk carried it away. So they constantly check out their surroundings for danger. And that's why they tolerate each other. More eyes on the skies. But the flock itself increases their anxiety. The males and the older birds of either sex attack flockmates apparently just because they can. The necessity of bracing for those attacks from flockmates, not to mention watching for hawks, is only the beginning. Whatever serenity a bird manages to muster is fractured accidentally dozens of times a day, by another bird landing almost on top of it, by a low-flying squabble, by a departing flockmate almost shaving the top of its head, by a quarrel erupting inches away, or by a freight train barreling through without a warning blast. So every one of them suffers from frayed nerves in general and hawk-watch jitters in particular. At least most of their bickering is mild. More often than not, just an absent-minded nudge. If an alpha bird is feeling edgy, though, things could get a lot rowdier than that. Often the attacker spurts onto the scene, jolting a settled bird out of its way. If an alpha suffers an attack of the meanies while it's already feeding, the bird's poker face doesn't telegraph its intentions. What might clue its target in about an imminent attack, though, is if it's standing sideways to another bird. See, we humans interpret looking away from a possible antagonist as signaling that we are no threat. But with birds, it's the reverse. The bird's eyes are on the sides of its head, so it's staring rudely right at a possible opponent. Now, that doesn't mean it is going to attack. It just drives the odds up, especially if the bird nearby makes one innocent move too many. Knowing how dominant birds can flip out, every possible target in the area is on alert, because they're always, all of them, on alert, watching, ready to react, and even, while they wait, chewing with a sewing machine pace that matches their mental state. But somebody needs to ease up on the electroshock. If the alpha does pull the trigger, both birds are incredibly quick. The alpha's mark might get driven backward, but it always acquits itself with grace. A targeted bird can even react instantly to an attack from the rear, because its eye placement lets it see most of what's behind it. For them, survival is about reflexes. We humans rely on our ability to reason and take considerable pride in it. But the reaction time of birds ought to humble us a bit. These small creatures have put their brain power into the quick reactions necessary just to survive the day. And their frequent squabbles probably serve to hone those reflexes. For all we know, they enjoy the drama of crowds. Flock members can ruffle your feathers for sure, but at least they keep a fella on his toes.